Native Americans, depending on tribe and location and nation, dealt with homosexuality in very different ways. Some of it was pretty cruel. And some of it was much more sophisticated than, than some of the stuff we do today. We're certainly improving faster than I thought we would. But reading Margaret Mead one day, I think it's a book called The Golden Age of American Anthropology, she talked about how the Sioux handled homosexuality. They had developed quite a liturgy for taking care of it. What would happen if two braves or two maidens or squaws or whatever decided that they didn't want to marry and they wanted to live together in the same teepee? They would have to go to the tribal council and tell them. And the tribal council would say, well, one of you must be the he squaw. And you can give it a try and see how things go. So they would move in, and one of them would become a he squaw, would dress like the other ladies. The other one would go hunting. The one dressed like a lady would stay there and grind corn with the other ladies, I suppose. And then, but slowly they were expected to get pregnant right away. Everybody who married was supposed to. And so they would start stuffing her dress with dry grass in a pouch. And they would do that for 9 months. And then, just before the child was to be born, the shaman would come, representing the tribal council, and say that, since this is a he squaw having a baby, and if the baby is born with any trouble or deformed in any way, it could be bad for the tribe. So the council would like them to go out into the wilderness to give birth to this child rather than in the confines of the village. So when time came, they would go. And then what they would do is they'd kill a rabbit, and they'd skin it, and they would wrap the skinned rabbit in something and come back to the village weeping and crying that the baby had been stillborn. And the whole village would share in their sorrow. And there would be a funeral kind of service. And they would do whatever they do with the corpses of their dead. And then the council would call them, the couple, to a meeting and say, you fellas tried to do this the right way and it just didn't work for you, so you can just live in the teepee any way you want to. And they would. And they might both go back to hunting and fishing, or one of them might really like dressing like the other ladies and grinding corn all day. It didn't matter to anybody. What mattered is that everybody pulled their own load and that everybody's teepee was their own castle. If only we could get to that same high point in civilization.